So, welcome back to the Messy Cook 1970. We are doing Christmas baking today, and as I promised more recipes, this is a recipe for Rice Krispie Squares. Super simple. I'm just greasing a 9x13 pan because this is what this recipe makes. This is the one my mom made for us when we were kids. You can find a very similar recipe online under probably Kellogg's or Rice Krispie Squares.com. There's recipes everywhere. So this is the recipe I like because that's what I grew up with. You can change it up if you want. If you want to add some vanilla or something else, you can certainly do that. But this is what I do. So I take just a little dot of butter, and I've taken some paper towel grease to my pan. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. In the pot here, I have a half a cup of butter. So I'm going to turn that heat on just to about medium. We want to heat the butter. So half a cup of butter. On the side here, I have 5 cups of marshmallows and 5 cups of Rice Krispie Squares. That's it, super simple. Like I said, if you have other things that you want to add or change, you're welcome to do that as well. And I'm going to just chop this butter up so it melts a little quicker. And then what we'll do is we will add in the Rice Krispies. We'll add in the marshmallows first. Get those all melted. When they're all melted down, we'll add in the Rice Krispies, mix it up, gets pressed into the pan, and we'll let them cool, and that's it. Super simple. I like to cool them at room temperature instead of doing it in the fridge, but you can do it in the fridge as well. Also, this recipe freezes really well, so if you want to do a couple batches ahead of time, you can certainly do that and freeze them for the holidays. And let's eat them up first. These are even just great for any time of the year. You know, put it in your hubby's lunch or your lunch, or just a snack when the grandkids are coming over, or whatever you like. So anyhow, so I'll get this butter melted, and we'll add in these marshmallows in a very short moment. Okay, so the butter here is basically melted, as you can see. So I'm going to add in the marshmallows. I like to use mini marshmallows as they melt quicker, so that's what I'm using. You can use colored marshmallows, regular marshmallows if you want to do flavored. I know in the summertime they sell a maple flavor here in Canada, but get whatever you like. So we're just going to continue to stir these and get it all melted down, and we will add in the Rice Krispies and go from there. Okay, so you can see that these are melting really well. You want to melt until you don't see the shape or the bumps anymore of the small marshmallows. This has literally been about 2 minutes, so it really doesn't take long. Again, I have it on medium heat. Don't do it on high, because if you do it on high, it's going to burn really fast, and we don't want that. I'm also going to get another scraper here because it will be a little bit easier to be sure that we get all of the bits and pieces off the side. Wooden spoon, spatula, use whatever you like. So we want to get all of that. The butter makes it nice. Now I use butter with salt in it. I don't use unsalted butter, but if you want to do that to cut your salt intake, feel free. So you can see this is all melted, golden. I'm going to throw in all the Rice Krispies. I just do it in one shot. We're going to just mix this up real quick. I'm going to turn the heat off because we don't need the heat. The marshmallows are already cooked. That is literally it. Stir it up. These will be pretty gooey and sticky. We're going to take our greased pan over here. I'm just going to move this over so you can see a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to take this mixture, give it one last stir to make sure it's incorporated all over evenly, and it is. And I'm just going to pour that. You can see all the glue on the bottom there. That's all mixed in. So that was maybe 5 minutes. So that's a nice healthy alternative to buying in a package as well. So if you want to send a little sweet something for your kids, if it isn't too over the board in sugar, these are an option that's really great without having too many calories and a bunch of preservatives. It's all about, you know, trying to eat food that's real, so you know what's in it. If you're making it yourself, you know what's in it. Prepackaged, that's fine once in a while. If you want to be lazy, I do it too, but not very often. And there, so there we go. If you want to make them like really thick, you can double the recipe or put it in a 9x9 pan. That will make them a little higher, but I find that this works well, and we cut them in probably 24 bars, and that works for us. So we're just going to spread these out. The butter, we put enough in, the half cup. My other mom always put a little bit more, and it gives it a lovely flavor. And 2, your spatula won't stick, especially the silicone ones are really great. You can use your hands with a little bit of oil sprayed on them if you like too. Just make sure it's not olive oil or something with flavor. You just want a neutral oil if you want to just use that to press down. So there you go, Rice Krispie Squares. So when these cool to room temperature, we will come back and cut one up and show you what they look like. So these regular Rice Krispie Squares have been cooled down. They're to room temperature, so we can just cut these. Let's see how far across here. I like to cut them ahead of time while they're still the tiniest bit warm, but this is pretty good too. It'll just be a little bit harder. So just cutting across. I don't want to do them too big or too small. So I cut about 4 and straight down the middle. There we go. And again, now you can leave them big if you want to do them for kids for school. This is a nice size. You can also do them a little bit smaller, and I'm going to cut them a little bit smaller for packaging up for the holidays, because you know, when you want to try treats through the holidays, you don't want to have just one, you'll fill yourself up. So I'm going to cut these in much smaller little portions, and it depends on how big of a tray I'm doing. I might cut them again once. They're a little uneven, but that's okay. We'll make it work. We might cut them a little bit smaller when we're doing trays up, but we'll just see how we do when we do that. So I'm gonna finish that there. I'm gonna take one of these out. Now, like I said, if you want them a little bit thicker, you can do them in a smaller pan, a 9x13. So these, as you can see, are nice and gooey. So I hope you enjoy this recipe and you try these at home yourself. Have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll be back with more videos soon. Take care.